early on when I graduated college, I had a couple of girlfriends, but looking back on it, I was just forcing myself to fit this societal mold that was there, but my heart was never in it, and I ended up meeting my first boyfriend, first guy that I fell in love with, my first real love. It was probably about, again, I'd have to do the math, but probably about 23, I guess. So, I mean, I just knew. I probably, that's probably the age that I admitted to myself that I was gay. Although I had the feelings, I'm sure, from high school and junior high school, but it was a different time.
I believe what I was told, which happened to be wrong, but I believed it. And when I was 15, I put a .357 Magnum in my mouth and was going to pull the trigger and blow my head off. I was completely convinced that God preferred me dead than gay. I struggled from that point on, though, about my identity and my faith, because I knew I loved Jesus and I knew he hated me.
Probably a lot of them think that they never met a gay person. So let's say it's 8% of the population is gay. That means that there are about 20 million to 25 million gay people in this country. There's a good chance that homophobes' child was taught by a gay teacher, or if their house caught on fire, that a gay fireman helped put out the fire, or if they were in a traffic accident, that the EMS technician that helped save their life was gay. But they don't wear a badge on their chest or a tattoo on their forehead saying, gay guy.
We're just people.
I don't feel misunderstood as a gay person. Sometimes I feel misunderstood as Jen.
We just happen to be two women who have made our lives together. We didn't choose to be gay. We just chose to not go crazy because we were gay and to have a life.
See, that's what people don't understand. Okay, inside gay relationship, it's not like, okay, I'm the chick and then he's the dude, or he's the dude, I'm the chick, and we just switch roles back and forth because it's fun. That's what we do. No, that's not how it works. He's my best friend.
Once I could accept the fact that the stereotypes really weren't the population of lesbians, for example, and once I realized I could be me and still be attracted to another woman, it was a huge relief. I mean, it was just a huge relief. And I think then my own baggage was, now that's a relief to me, how am I going to come out to my parents, and what are they going to say, and how are they going to handle it? They were very accepting. And my sister kind of looked at me and said, Jenny, it's about time you come out.
And don't misquote me as wanting to hurt homosexual people in any way. That would be a dastardly lie. My approach is live and let live. I just think my children and your children will be much better off and much more successful getting married and raising a family. And I don't want them to be brainwashed into thinking that homosexuality is an equally valid or successful option. It isn't.
And our first date was at her church. She's a good Episcopalian. And we had our first kiss in the chapel of that church, where we married 2 years later. And, we created a life together. We created a home together. We followed in our parents' footsteps. I was raised in a family. I wasn't raised by a pack of wolves. I was raised in a family where my parents took us to church every Sunday. Mama made the home. Dad worked. We were raised with morals and values. We were raised with discipline and high expectations. And we were raised to value marriage.
Rob and I are proud parents of 5 kids, 5 wonderful kids that we all adopted at birth, but our oldest kid now is 25, and we have a 21-year-old, 17-year-old, and 16-year-old twin girls.
But when Jan and I, we met 31 years ago, we knew that was the only thing was missing from our family. because we then became a family when we had the 5 kids. Jan and I, we were a family at the moment we took commitment to care for each other.
People may not know what to do with 2 women or 2 men, but they know what to do with a baby. So this congregation in the South Bronx, where there are persons who come from cultures, from nations that are not normally gay friendly, Jamaica, Libya, all nations throughout Africa, the West Indian, the Caribbean, because they knew me and because I had been a very effective pastor for them, they had to decide between issues and a person. An issue had suddenly become a person they loved. And so they were willing at least to make an exception to what they had previously believed. And so my family was able to be open and present in that place.
Everyone in town heard about me. I was like the only gay person like in the town. I had to leave the state. I got spit on, I had people try to run me over, I had people try to light me on fire, I had people try to beat me up, I had people go past my house, they would throw rocks and break my parents' house, they broke the windows, they flattened my tires, they pulled gallons of paint on my car. I was abused.
Homophobia kills people. It really does kill people. The logical conclusion of that kind of hatred is for people like me to either kill ourselves or for people who are so terrified to kill us. That's the logical conclusion to all of this. It's not Christian, it's not American, it's not democratic, it's not right. It's based completely in fear. But I would rather be bold in trying to make positive change and occasionally be wrong than to sit back and do nothing and always be wrong.